Hello, bestie. It's Sue Coco, your divine oracle. How are you? I hope you're doing so well. Let's call in the angels, the deity of the light, and all that call us to our higher good. Excuse me. Wow, I thought I was ready to record, but... All right. Let me just begin first by pulling an animal spirit card. What message is coming through from the animal spirit world? I really am feeling an energy for anybody who's watching this. There is a message that wants to come through from spiritually. I'm definitely feeling there's an entity on the other side. There's a message that you need to hear, and hopefully I'm able to convey it. I do want to pull tarot cards. I do feel as if I'm very strongly being called to do some shamanic channeling. But before we jump into that, I just want to make sure everything is it's a positive message coming through. You know, you want to look through the little peephole in the door before you just let anybody in. The animal spirit that's coming through is that of the sea turtle. The energy, this makes perfect sense because I'm feeling this energy of being in a fog, being in a haze, almost stumbling through. And this was coming through. I really have been picking up your energy before I started the reading. I have my coffee here, which I turned into an iced coffee. And I actually had it in a mug, and as I went to go take a sip, I spilled it all over my desk, and I'm just like, what is going on? I just felt so out of my body. And as I did my rituals to set up the space, cleanse the space, there is a spiritual message wanting to come through. There's somebody's spirit team, and I'm getting so many confirmations that they do have a message they want to release to you. The messaging of the sea turtle right now. This spirit animal begins its life in unfamiliar territory. It begins its life on land when this creature is a creature of the sea. And I don't know if you guys are up and watch memes and stuff. There's that thing of the sea turtle that slapped that influencer. There's a video online of an influencer who went snorkeling, and a sea turtle came up, slapped him in the face with his fin, and swam off. That's coming through. And I feel like that's the message the sea turtle has for you. Currently, if you're feeling struggle, if you're feeling like things are very, very difficult, you're just not in your element. You're trying to navigate in a space that is almost diametrically opposite to where you're meant to thrive. And so the message of moving into your element, going from the sandy beaches, crawling your little sea turtle way into the ocean. And I mean, the ocean isn't free of predators, but the sea turtle is so much more well equipped to navigate the seas. Of course, there's danger everywhere, but it is so much more suited than fumbling and stumbling along on the sand, exhausted from breaking free from its shell, and now having to traverse, the beach in order to get to the crashing waves. That's something that really wants to come through. I'm being called as well. I definitely felt the energy. If you guys are familiar with the Law of Attraction, The Secret, I do want to pull 3 cards from this, that there is something here. There's a message here. I'm getting the message of gratitude, of even though you could be in a situation where things are feeling a little bit you're off your footing, you don't have the higher ground, you're in a battle at a disadvantage, it just feels as if there's 3 messages you need to hear to realign yourself. And I do understand, I do have empathy and compassion wherever you are, yes, it's difficult, but the attitude of gratitude can get you out of that. That's something I'm hearing. So I'm just going to pull 3 cards from here, and then I'm going to pull confirmations from the tarot cards. But before I flip them, I'm going to do some shamanic channeling to see what's coming forward for you. What is the message you're meant to hear? Okay. Perfect. And I'm just going to cut this. Ooh, all right. We're getting Death and the 2 of Cups on the cut. There could be an ending of a relationship. This really just feels as if like things are changing. And I saw Death before I saw the 2 of Cups. Even though the 2 of Cups is on the bottom of the deck, Death on the cut. There's definitely going to be transitions, changes, metamorphoses happening in your relationships. I'm hearing for some of you, it's like it could be a removal if you're with somebody. If this is the resonate, this is what should be. If this resonates, if you're, you know what I mean, you've kind of been getting cold feet, or it just things aren't feeling right. If you're in a relationship, this might be a signal that, spiritually speaking, there are going to be forces kind of like moving things, you know what I mean, you and your partner away. Or for some of you, there's a message here for those who are single, that your singlehood is going to be changing very soon. King of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. For my divine feminine, there's a divine masculine with money coming your way. There's an energy here of like, this is funny that this is a message coming through, because I was like, who is this for? There's something about you've gone as far as you can by yourself, and you're somebody, this is the crux of it. You are a hard worker. You will sacrifice your sleep to get what you want done. Like if you have a job or a task to do, you go all out. You do not quit. You do not rest. You go to the point of burnout, but there's an energy here of like, you've gone as far as you can by yourself. So there are people and there are energies. There are romantic energies circling you. And the resonance is, if you want them, they're going to come to you. If you are just like, okay, go away, they're going to go away. But there are helpful energies circling you right now. And it is directly tied to finances, to money, to upgrade. 8 of Wands and the 3 of Cups. It's like finding the harmony between work and play. That is what's coming in for you in this season. That, I think that is what the fog is lifting. I think that is the message your spiritual team had for you, is that there are going to be like party celebration, a like new circle. I'm hearing that there's going to be people coming in to bring in celebration, that there are going to be people coming in. I am like, bestie, I love you, but I can feel that there's like a loneliness energy, that there's an energy of like people not necessarily understanding you, or even this energy of just like, you know, like you make a joke and it just doesn't hit. And it's like, they're not your people. They're not like, I'm getting the energy. It's like, we always talk about like finding your tribe on this channel, and the tribe is tribing. It's as if when you meet a person and you say something and then it just clicks and it's this understood language. My God, I'm so dumb. This is a story. I'm being just compelled. Spirit is compelling you to share this story. So I went to Olive Garden with my brothers, and where the Olive Garden is, it's the only one in BC where I live. If you're in British Columbia, there's an Olive Garden in Langley. Go there. It is so good. Anyways, it's one of my favorite spots. And there's only one. So we went there just for like, me and my brothers always go there in like the spring and in fall, and it was like raining. We just love going on a rainy day. That's like our favorite place to go. So it takes like 45 minutes to drive there. And so we get there, we're having our meal and blah, blah, blah. And then around there's a giant bookstore, and like, I don't know about you guys, but around me, all of my local bookstores have like closed down, and like I have to make a trek to go to a bookstore. So there's a giant bookstore. It's called Indigo. It's kind of like Borders in America. Anyway, they sell tarot cards there. And I'm like excited. I want to go look. I want to buy some new books, get some tarot cards. And our waiter was super, super friendly. And then he was just like, oh, like, have any, like, we're paying, right? And he's like, oh, do you have any plans after? And I was like, oh, we're planning on going to the bookstore. He's like, oh, that's so cool. Like, what do you, like, anything in general? And I was just like, not thinking, like, you know what I mean? Like, this world of, like, tarot cards and mysticism, I'm so entrenched in it. And everybody that I speak to regularly, if I'm about to say Mercury is in retrograde, there's no explanation needed. So I'm just, oh yeah, I just want to check out the bestsellers. And, I think that tarot cards there. That, he was like, oh, okay. And that killed the conversation. And it was just like, okay, this is a person who's like, you know what I mean? Like, our waiter was like a guy who was like, I don't know, like watches football. And I'm like, great, that's great for you. I don't know about sports. But it just like, like it just killed everything. And I look back and like laugh about it because I'm like, that's hilarious. That like, you know what I mean? Like, everything's friendly and good. And it was like, okay, yeah. In his mind, he's like, oh, this person's like weird. And I'm like, honey, yeah, I am. But that's what I'm speaking of. Like, I'm really picking up that energy that you've had conversations with people. And it's like, if you were to go to them and be like, oh, Mercury is in retrograde, they'd just be like, Mercury, huh? And you are so in your own world. And it's like, the reason we click and we resonate is we speak the same language. I always talk about the Sioux language. And it's like the way I speak and the way I use words incorrectly and make my own words up and sometimes use baby talk and like whatever I do, bestie, baby bestie. Like we are tribe. So it's an energy that's coming forward that you're going to be this giddy, happy energy. And I'm really, really connecting to the version of you that's on the other side of this. I was in a fog and in a haze. I'm going to do a quick shamanic channeling right now to see what it is the spirits really want you to know and want me to see in regards to this. Yeah. I'm just seeing the image of a sea turtle in the water. A sea turtle in the water and hearing a conch, like a conch shell. It is so distinct. And in the Hindu religion, the conch, that noise is so significant that it is calling and inviting in the deities and the gods to be present for prayer and ritual. But I'm hearing this in regards to you, that you are, this conch is being called to call your people in. So with that, let's just jump in. I'm going to pull from the first, The Secret manifestation cards. Manifestation is very important for you right now. Your imagination creates. Stress, worry, and anxiety simply come from projecting your thoughts into the future and imagining something bad, which causes your feelings to plummet. And when you imagine something bad, you're creating what you don't want. Instead, when you're feeling worried, ask yourself, what do I want? And then imagine that instead. So, your imagination is so powerful right now. And I really do feel you've been doing a lot of the work and it's been on your shoulders. And now it's almost as if like, there's a video game I used to play. It was called Graveyard Keeper. And you're like a graveyard keeper and to bury the bodies and like do all this work. And there's a part in the game that you get zombies and they do all the work for you and it's like automated. That is what I'm seeing for you. That all this work that you've been doing that was like the hard labor or like stuff that it was just like, it's busy work. You're going to be getting help soon. They are going to be coming forth. You're getting your zombies. The zombies are coming to help you. That they're going to be doing this like menial labor. That they're going to take on these tasks that are just busy work and just taking your time away. That is what's coming in for you. Yeah. This is so funny. So going with fears, you're getting the 10 of Swords and the 2 of Swords. So you have a decision to make right now. Are you going to be focusing on all that, like your fears, your worries, and like projecting that in your mind and allowing that to manifest in your reality, you have the choice to make right now. This is coming in from your spiritual team. I'm like, I love you, bestie, but I'm also hearing and feeling loneliness. That you're in a stage in your life where it's just like, there has been difficulty connecting, or it just feels as if there's been a disconnect from your tribe, from your people. And there's a fear about it. And it's like, you can feel you're on the cusp of success, that things are changing and shifting, and there is a spiritual and cosmic alignment going on, but it's almost also a fear of like, well, when I finally get there, who am I going to celebrate with? And I do feel you're somebody who's very, very discerning about people and something about money. And you're very discerning about like when the times are good, everybody comes out of the woodwork and they're coming to you with their palm out. And your intuition is so good to be able to see that, clock it, and be like, wash your hands of it. So there's an energy here of just like, you know, like, there's a saying of like, you know, the loneliest people. It's like it's the loneliest at the peak of the mountain. Like millionaires and like the rich, you know what I mean? Like the affluent. They only hang in their own circles because they know the people around them. If you're a millionaire and your friends are millionaires, you know they don't want you for your money. There's something about you that you have all have in common. But there's an energy of like when, like, no, like this is when people come out of the woodwork. And there was that TV show Entourage. You know what I mean? Like the people who are there to be your entourage only when you've made it. And it's like, where were these people when times were good? And I am really picking up an energy that you experience a time of heightened fame, wealth. It's like you underwent a period that was like a preview of the life you're expecting, where almost like you were put on a pedestal, or like you were earning a lot. There's something about your status on the rise and people flocking to you. And that was a real learning experience. And you look back on it and there were people that did take advantage of you. And there were people that benefited from your generosity. And I'm not saying not to be a generous, I'm not saying to not be a generous person, but it's like, there's an energy here of like, you know, when you're a kid and your parents tell you gotta listen to like when the grown-ups tell you to do something. And then so if like somebody comes to you and tells you to do something, rather than you being discerning, you just do it because it's like that was your programming. And it's like, oh, if somebody came to you and be like, oh, I really, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I really want, I don't know, this ice cream, get it for me. You just get it. Rather than being like, go get your own damn ice cream. So that's just a weird, yeah. But that is coming forward. And it's all about, like, you can trust yourself. You can trust yourself to be, like, I'm hearing the warrior, to protect yourself, to cut out the people who you know have no good intention for you, that are here just for their own benefit and for, like, you know, like the clout and the chase and the, like, to be seen with you and be like, oh, look, we made it, when they were not there in the struggle. So next pile, be grateful for your challenges. It's all of the hard things and apparently negative things that happen to us, which give us a deep desire to change our lives. Be grateful for them because they have given you the strength and determination to manifest something different, and your life will change. Ooh, that's a beautiful card. So we got 3 cards. We got 3 cards for the last 2 piles. Ooh. So you're getting Judgment, the 3 of Swords, and the Devil. So, Judgment, the 3 of Swords, and the Devil. Let me just give a minute to... There is an energy here that I'm really feeling strongly of you no longer being chained to the negative. And it could be jealousy. It could just be like, I'm really picking up an energy of crashing out, or like you may have just gotten super, super frustrated. Okay, this is super embarrassing, but I'm really being called to share this. So a couple days ago, I'm on Reddit and I'm scrolling, and I just saw somebody posted, and it was just like, somebody's like, oh, like, you know, like, okay, so it was like on one of like the gay subreddits, and somebody's posting a selfie to be like, oh, woe is me, like, blah, 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 but like, they're crazy hot. And I'm like, and they're 23 years old. So I just like click their profile to be like, what are they complaining about? It's like, oh, anyways, I click on their profile, and it's like, I did a little bit of creeping, and it was like, they're 23 years old, crazy hot, living in New York. And then they just posted, oh, I got an inheritance of like $3 million. How do I live off of this and the interest, and like how do I invest it and stuff? And it's like, this is this person's problem. And they're in school for like, I don't know, like theater or something. And I'm just like, like, you know what I mean? We all have a moment to be like, okay, we're all on our journeys. However we may, you know, be, it is difficult in our own specific ways. And we encounter our own roadblocks. We encounter our own difficulty and whatever. But I'm just like looking at this and being like, look at this 23-year-old kid living in New York, and it's like everyone's giving him advice and like, oh, you can live off the interest, and you could easily be getting like $90,000 a year from interest, from just your inheritance. I'm like the frustration. I had a bit of a crash out. I literally was like, God, like, you know, like, why are you showing me that? Like, I get it. There's an energy here of like, God, me, like, I'm showing you because I can make this happen for you. That is what spirit wants you to, what wants to resonate for you. Dude, did you hear that? That was thunder. There's thunder and lightning. That's funny that as I'm crashing out, there's thunder and lightning happening. And I'm still triggered by it, like a little bit, but I'm like, okay, I get it. But like, what I'm struggling with and my troubles that I'm going, like, I wish I was some gorgeous 23-year-old in New York with, oh, how do I manage my $3 million inheritance? Like, Jesus. Anyways, the point being, I'm picking up an energy of a crash out, of giving into like heartbreak and letting those lesser emotions kind of like take you for a ride, take you on a journey, and, you know, come back to yourself of like, oh my God. I'm still, you can tell, I'm still triggered about it. I never claimed to be perfect. I'm just a tarot card reader. At least I can laugh at myself and my own stupidity. Because I do see how, like, just, like, dumb it is. There's thundering so hard right now. I don't know if the mic is picking it up, but this is crazy. I think it's, like, letting me know, like, that's God telling me, like, stop focusing on the wrong thing. And there's a message coming through, sorry, I just got it, of you're constantly getting signs from God, the universe, from spirit, whatever resonates for you, of when you're kind of crashing out or you're having like a woe with me moment, like I had, honey, I'm human too. There are going to be things that call you back to yourself, that call you back to the journey you're on, the path that you're on. And there's a reason for it. There's a reason, there's an overcoming. There are things that are happening, and just understand and know, focus on the end result instead of like how you're trying to make it through the bog and the mire and the muck of it right now. And keep putting one foot in front of the other, because instead of focusing on how hard it is, it's like just focus on those end results, those bigger goals, those dreams. Because what's the saying? Like, any why can make like any, you can endure anything if you have a good enough like why. Like the reason why you're doing something. You can endure anything if your reason is profound enough for yourself. So that is what's coming through. Judgment. There is also like an element of like justice here, of redemption I'm hearing, and this could be in regards to your crash out, is when you return to yourself, you're going to find and see that maybe things are a little bit more aligned. And maybe by you going through that, that turbulence, throwing a little bit of a temper tantrum, it kind of got like God's attention. And it's like, oh, let me make sure, they're getting some more blessings on their plate, that they don't feel forgotten. So the third pile we're going to start. Change your thoughts, change your future. At the end of every day, before you go to sleep, think through the events of the day. If any events or moments didn't go the way you wanted, replay them in your mind the way you wanted them to go. You've now completely changed your future. That's beautiful advice. And so what's coming through with that? Oh my gosh, what a more beautiful message. We're getting 5 of Pentacles. So struggle, poverty, financial lack, just like feeling not provided for. And so like if you play Neopets, there's an area called like the desert, and there's a great omelet. And if you have like Neopets, you can take them there and they can eat from the great omelet. But it's like, look at the card. Like we got this little, I forget all their names, but there's a brontosaurus and a little bird, and they're walking by and they don't see the great omelet. They're, dying of thirst and hunger. And look at all the other little pets, and they're all happy. They're eating from the great omelet. But this guy, they're like, they don't even notice it because they're so caught up in the misery that they're experiencing. They can't see the forest for the trees. They can't see that there's a lifeline right there, that they're just struggling in the desert. And that's an energy that I'm feeling, is maybe you being so focused on the misery and like the lack, you're not able to see the greater blessings that are around you. But the good about that is things are changing. You are mentally going on a cruise. Why did I hear that? You're mentally going on a change of journey, on a change of scenery. I'm hearing cruise, but it's like, I'm also thinking of Huntavirus, but that's just my ego. We're going to leave that behind. I'm seeing maybe it's time for you to take a little bit of a break. There's an energy here of like, when I think of a cruise, I just think of like sailing away from your problems, getting on a boat, eating whatever you want. You know what I mean? Like taking a break, being in full relaxation mode. You're literally on a floating city and on vacation. Oh, and moving away from your problems. There's an element of movement, of transportation, of change occurring, moving away from your problems. And what does that change equal? The 10 of Pentacles. One of the most prosperous, financially aligned cards in this deck. That your rewards are on the horizon. You're being moved to, like, I'm hearing Gold Mountain. Like, they're I don't know. Okay, so I don't want to say lore. It's not mythological, but like in the turn of the century, when like the North America, Canada, BC, we were making the Great Railroad, the Canadian Railroad, that went from the west coast to the east. Ooh, there goes the thunder again. In China, they called, there were a lot of Chinese migrant workers that were called over to work on the railroad. And there was a belief, for a lot of the Chinese that came over, they called North America Gold Mountain. And they believed that there were mountains of gold, and when the sun rose, it would melt the mountain, and you could literally take a bucket and scoop the gold out. It was that easy. But the mountains of gold were guarded by what they called white demons. And I mean, they called them white demons, but I mean, essentially they were just like the white people that were in control of everything. And that was the mythology back home in China, that they believed that. But when, like when the mine workers and people came over, what they were earning was so much that when they sent it back home, they were living here very, very on like meager shoestring budgets. And they sent the majority of the money back home. But the money they sent back home, it was believed that they were able to just scoop gold from the mountain. And that's the energy that I'm feeling. It's like not the like in that mythology, it's like you're being transported to Gold Mountain, where when the sun rises and the heat melts the mountain of gold, all you have to do is grab your bucket and scoop it up, and there ain't no white devils out there to stop you. Yeah. That was the mythology. I'm saying that with nothing but like love. But it all comes back to the sea turtle. You are moving out of an element that is out of your element. You're no longer going to be traversing on something that is just so diametrically opposed to your values, to your beliefs, just to the way you exist. You're finally moving into your element, into your natural habitat. That is what's coming through so strongly. I want you to take that energy. What a beautiful way to end it. 10 of Pentacles. In the end, it is all going to be so good. You're just going through it right now, and I want you to take, the messages from here, from the spirit, from the secret, gratitude energies, and then go with that. All right, bestie, let's say thank you for the angels, the deities of the light. I want to say thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye!